Shauna. Is it Shauna or Shanna in Seattle?
It's Shanna in Seattle.
You are on the air with Senator Sanders, Shanna.
Okay, first off, can I just say thank you to both of you? You show me that besides our bubble out there, there's so many intelligent people in the farthest reaches of the South who are paying attention and they're not fools. And next is beyond the TPP, which is just scary, and how do we stop it, is Senator Sanders, how do we insert progressive into, if now that this Hillary machine is going, she said the other day, no matter who's president, that the people have to move or it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to change unless people do something. Are people going to fight in the next year and a half, or how do we insert you into that campaign, an independent vice or something like that to take care of business and let her have the limelight? How can we do this?
Okay, well, Shana, you raise, and let me be clear, it's more than about me. You raise, I would say, the major, you hit the nail on the head of the major political question that we face. These are very, very, very difficult and complicated times in American history. And you can argue that the problems are more serious today than they have been since the Great Depression, and Shana hit on some of them. What you have is a movement in this country, in my view, in terms of economics. What we have seen since 1985 is many trillions of dollars of wealth transferred from the broad middle class to the top 1/10 of 1%. I'm talking about trillions and trillions of dollars. So that median family income today is significantly lower than it was 20 years ago. While the wealthiest people are doing unbelievably well. Then politically, I think what Shana is talking about is you have another machine out there, and as a result of Citizens United, billionaires can spend as much money as they want to elect the candidates who will support their interests. And then you got a corporate media out there who decides what is worthy of being discussed and what is not worthy of being discussed. And the reason that I have been doing this show with Tom for now, how many years? 9 years?
Yeah, close to a decade. I don't know how long it's been.
Is because there are very few voices out there, very few opportunities, and Tom is one of a handful that allows the American people to hear alternative points of view. So what do we do? And, I think, as Shana implies, I have been giving serious thought to running for President of the United States of America. And I'll make that decision fairly soon. And I can give you 8 hours worth of reasons, and I think many other people can, as to why I should run. And that is that the working families of this country need a voice. The billionaire class has got to be taken on. Climate change is a global crisis which has to be dealt with, et cetera, et cetera. But what I also am trying to do is live in the very real world, and it's not a pretty world, Shana. And that world is that the billionaire class will put, we don't know. I mean, the estimate is now, when Obama ran, he and Mitt Romney both spent a little over $1 billion. That apparently is now chicken feed. And these guys are going to be spending maybe $2 billion. $2 billion just presidential election. And most of the money may well come into super PACs. And then you've got a media which is not particularly interested in dealing with real issues. And the question, to my mind, most significantly, are the people of this country really, in a serious way, prepared, which is what Shana is talking about, to really get involved in a grassroots effort to take on the billionaire class? And I was out in Shana's part of the world, not quite that north, California, a couple of weeks ago, tremendous support. Las Vegas, great support. Texas, huge support. But can we mobilize people, not for a quote-unquote Bernie Sanders campaign, but for a people's campaign? I would be part of it, obviously. It's my name that would be on the ballot. But can we mobilize? And it's easy for me to give a great speech, oh, yeah, we could do this, no problem. Well, not so sure. And if we do it, it has to be done well, not for my ego, but for everything that most people who are listening to this program believe in. Because if you run a bad campaign, then your opponents say, see, nobody really cares about the collapse of the American middle class. Nobody cares about income and wealth inequality. Nobody cares that young people can't afford to go to college. Those aren't important issues. Sanders ran on those issues. Look how badly he did. So that's what we're wrestling with, and it is the hardest To be very honest with you, Shana, it is the hardest political decision I've ever had to make in my life. And I'm talking to everybody that I can. But that's kind of where we are. We'll make that decision shortly, and I thank you for your support. But it is a tough decision.
We have 20 seconds to the break, Senator.
Okay. I think where we are is that everybody, and Shana quoted me exactly right, no one person is going to change this country, not the best president in the history of the world, because you have so much power in terms of lobbyists and corporate interests around Washington, D.C., that you will need unprecedented grassroots movement which forces the Congress to do the right thing in terms of the needs of the middle class and working families of this country.